Period. So what's up, y'all? My name is Carlita. This is Police Service Announcement. I hope everybody is having a good Tuesday. Shout out to Jess for being in the building. Say hi, Jess. Do you want to get a mic, Jess? Do you want to get a mic, Jess? Jess wants to get a mic. So Jess is going to get a mic because Jess wants a mic. Get a mic. The mic. Toucan is going to get you a mic. A mic. So, again, my name is Carlita. So first off, Cornerstone Drop-In Center, 2321 North Broad Street, is the Cornerstone Drop-In Center backed by Eddie's House, Miss Marion. The building is open. The Drop-In Center is open every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And we are there to service all of your needs. If there are any gaps in your life, we are there to fill them. Shout out to Jarue, Miss Nick, Mr. Jamaal, Jess, Tashi, Zuberi, Sa, uh, and all these cool people, B Noir, all these cool people who make Cornerstone do what Cornerstone do, because Cornerstone do what Cornerstone do. So today we have a guest who makes Cornerstone, who keeps Cornerstone safe. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Is it on? Who makes Cornerstone super safe and does what he does at a high level. And so, here at PSA, there's a culture of we don't introduce each other or any of the guests. So you can introduce yourself. And let's first start off with, who are you?
So my name is Kenneth Hassan Fatah Davenport, and I claim to be the leading expert in the world on emergency preparedness and disaster recovery, and the leading expert in America on urban crime and violence prevention in urban environments.
Okay. So why do you do what you do? Wait, what is your resource? First off, what is your resource?
Resource?
What do you provide to the community?
Okay, in a letter of character reference, it said that I provided a feeling of safety and security to everyone. So I think that's what the community gets from my services.
So what do you provide Cornerstone? Like more specifically then, like what do you
Okay,
provide
so
Cornerstone?
the idea is that I would provide safety and security, or first off, groundkeeping, which includes making everything kind of crime-proof for prevention of victimization, any bad areas, that kind of thing. My idea is to eliminate any potential places for anybody to be harmed, or any kind of even accidental things or safety situations. So you go through and you eliminate those. So that's already prevention. And then there's process for handling anything that does come up. The idea for me is especially to provide safety to the staff and the young people that are coming to the program.
Okay. All right. So, Jess, you want to jump in here? I mean, Brother Hassan. I mean, you do a lot. I mean, you've done a lot at Cornerstone, especially when it comes to the grounds. Like, I know you talked about the grounds. You've done a lot when it came to making sure the leaves were together, especially like the lights at night, making sure that we can, that we're, what would you say? Preventing,
Yeah, prevention and safety. I feel as though, like, with Brother Hassan there, when it's just us as women and the space, we've always felt super
comfortable.
safe.
Yeah,
it was like every day something new. He was bringing in something new,
right?
To make it more comfortable for us, to like the safety thing. Like, we were just hanging out in the dark. He like, no, y'all need lights.
Right. And we was fine in the dark though. That's the crazy part. We was fine in the dark, and then we come out and we see. Like, wait, what is
but
this?
It's those little things that we didn't even think about that just made it us, so much more appreciative of you being here in this space with us.
Jarue's coming. Yeah, he coming.
But I guess like the other question would be like, so right now, what are you spearheading at the center for the security for Philly team?
Yeah. Well, basically, one of my expertise is I've always been a national instructor and trainer I'm nationally certified to teach in any police academy, law enforcement academy, any college or university that operates a course for police officers to graduate with a college degree and a police officer certificate. So I can teach, and my specialty within that is use of force. So everything from making an arrest to um, testifying in court about violence or in any incident. I'm an official, be able to expert, what they call a subject matter expert. So I'm certified to testify in court any criminal cases of police abuse, anything in any court. I'm certified to testify. Um, uh, Specialty is trying to prevent violence, stress, fear, and violence. All three go together. When you get one, you automatically get the other. So whenever we treat one, you're treating the other. So if you deal with somebody that's so close to the edge that they're stressed out, they're ready to strike out at another person, if you can reduce that stress, then you're preventing somebody else from being victimized. So the idea is that when you see one, you automatically treat all three. If a person is violent, and let me say this is very important, the most violent people that we see in society, there's a reason for it. They're the most afraid. Every one of them has already been assaulted. I guarantee you, with whoever it is, if they're striking at other people, especially people that have done nothing to them yet, where they have to get that first hit in, that's out of fear automatically. Human being, you're so stressed out, you'll be over here in the corner, just cowering and shaking and hoping, depending on who the tormentor is, if that door opens, they're automatically like goes to another state. And that's what mental illness too, with the multiple personalities. It's people seeking safety in another personality. Okay, so if you address fear, you rather address the stress that comes along with it.
Yeah. I'm messing the show up. I'm messing the show up. Because I'm late.
And
Leaders.
so the idea being that the project that I myself operate, International Rescue Cities Network, the goal is to reduce stress, fear, and violence in all living human beings on this planet over the next 50 years. And especially all the things that are going to come from global warming and climate change. My estimate is that 2/3 of the population of this planet over the next 35 to 40 years are going to be running for their lives from their own communities, wherever they are. And my idea is to have places already ready for them. But to get back at the center, at the cornerstone, cornerstone is important because cornerstone should be a model of what could be done in every community. And you already have a great start. All the things that you're doing there, every one of them is exactly what you should be doing. You're right on track. So I just want to support y'all, and my specialty is violence and violence prevention and fear prevention. So everything I try to give you, all of you, is to take away from fears that you already have being there or whatever the case may be. So the only other thing I would say, I love giving classes to women, children, and elderly. It's called personal safety clinics. And if anything that I would like Cornerstone to start doing is maybe reach out to where the parents in the neighborhood know that on a certain night maybe they can bring their children with them. And instead of other communities, we can take our kids to the library and all the parents, and it's like story time. For us, right now, it needs to be take our kids to the Cornerstone program and get a personal safety clinic for each of the children. I teach them how to deal with bullying on their own street, neighborhood, or at school. We have the greatest children in the world. They are the most intelligent children in the whole world. It's Black American children in America, the most intelligent children in the whole world. We could drop any of our kids off at 14 in any village in Hong Kong, Singapore, any island, Tahiti, or anywhere else in Africa. And when we come back a year later, I guarantee you, everybody in that village is going to know our child that we dropped off, and he's going to be the the tribe or whoever's going to tell you that our tribe was a gift to them, that they have done something during that year that have really, I guarantee you, no matter what it is, they help them dig a well or use their computer to figure out where the well should be. Whatever it is, our children are going to excel if we test them and try them. So we are not giving our young people any tests. There's nothing, not that they have to go kill a lion at manhood, but our children, if we sent them every summer, instead of keeping them in these summer streets, sent them to visit either relatives all over the country or the world, or send them to help somewhere. And you would be surprised. When our children are away from us, they are the most responsible, the most, word is mature. Again, you won't even recognize your own child when you get them back. So we need to send them like our own little community Peace Corps type thing. But anything I can do to support Cornerstone, and the idea is that to provide the safety. And y'all have several special projects that actually involve all of you reaching out to the whole city. And I definitely am already a part of that. I agreed to everybody that's training community patrols for the schools everywhere. I'll be the one setting up the safe corridors. So I definitely want to do anything I can do to help Cornerstone and any other security projects that y'all have for everyone.
So did y'all let people know the name of the show? Did y'all let people know that this was a Philly service announcement?
Yeah.
That this is PSA? Why is that on? Why can people hear that? This is I can't really hear myself in the mic. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Y'all can hear me? I see you got this guy. I was like, nah. So so
If you need these, we can switch up with you.
oh, there you go. So this is PSA, Philly service announcement. Takeover Tuesday, takeover. Love, support, and grace. Social activism, resources, and art. Did you get all that in?
Try.
I am the assist. You know what I mean? I'm sure you already gave the queen, our right hand sister, Raw Cannon. You gave her just due. That's always gonna be a thing. Yo, when I seen my sister last week, and we gonna definitely get back into Brother House on, but when I seen my sister last week, I was like, yo, you know how you be around people and they just they know something going on when when you don't think nobody knows something going on, or they always got something to say, not something to say in a negative way, but something to say to like add, like, and I haven't seen Nick in a while. I haven't been over there to visit in a while, and this is like family for real. And it was like our hug was like we didn't see each other in a while. You know what I'm saying? Our conversation was like, but it's genuine, like somebody really missed you. You know what I'm saying? And when you got those type of people in your life, that's a good feeling, man. And you should always try to be the type of person that those type of people want to be in your life. And the reason why I said it like that, because a lot of times we do it from the other end. Like a person got to do all of these things to be in your life. And I think you need to do some things for those type of people to want to be in your life. Because a lot of times what we be showing people outward, and we always be like, people don't understand, people don't say, it's like, it's what you showing them outwardly. You know what I'm saying? For those quality people, you be wondering why you don't have people in your life in a certain type of way. It's some of those patterns of stuff that you learned. It might not even be you. You might be replicating your brother or your mom or your sister or your uncle, and you don't know that behavior is not really acceptable to everybody. It's ways that people live at home, and it's a certain type of, how you talk to each other, how y'all communicate to each other. That's not acceptable in the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate having people, because she's not the only person that I got in my life like that. And I have a lot, women in particular. I have a lot of women in my life who, like, before when I first came home, was like the bro John. Like, I got all of these brothers. Then I just had women that was around me that were my family. It was like kind of like your family could be like those default people around you sometimes, because sometimes you come to understand that the only thing that's connecting y'all is actually just blood. Y'all don't have a lot in common. And I think you should still work towards like family stuff, but you need to understand, like, you and your cousin, y'all really ain't the same type of people. So don't try to force I feel like we force a lot of relationships because it's family. Like, we say we accept certain things or do certain things because that's my family. But that person is not, y'all not on the same accord. Y'all don't move the same. Now, a lot of this is culture, how we've been trained to deal with each other. So we think it's our personalities, but really it's just us acting like everybody else. And it's repelling people the way that it probably should. Because how he said about our children are very, for me, that's always like this African thing of being adaptable. You know, our biggest strength is being able to adapt to damn near anything, no matter how much trauma it is or how great it is. We adapt. But that for me too, that also can be our biggest weakness, because you'll settle for things because you can adapt to it, because you can live in it, so you'll settle for that at times. Whereas like prison, you know, cats get used to it. I got used to it too, but I used to tell myself certain things repeatedly because I'm able to live and operate anywhere. You can live in a dumpster. People live in alleyways and they live a life like they're actually living an everyday life in a goddamn alleyway under a bridge. Just because people can adapt to live that way doesn't mean you should live that way. You know what I mean? So I think one of our things is we get comfortable in that adaptation sometimes. But it is our greatest strength at the same time. But I'm going to just run down a couple things before I get to Brother Hassan, because Brother Hassan is one of those elders that he has accumulated and intentionally looked for so much information in his life. Is like he's gotten to this stage and he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing as an elder, trying to make sure that that information is pushed on and passed on, and he don't put a whole lot of ego into knowing what he knows. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of our elders should be like that, and that really is your biggest role when you get to a certain stage. It's not to compete with those younger. It's not to be upset because you may have missed certain things, or, you know, as a saying, and it's very European to me, that youth is wasted on the young. That was an old motherfucker that wrote that. Excuse my language. Because the youth is only wasted if the old people are so busy worrying about being old and jealous of the young people that they don't want to pass down and give them what they're supposed to have, and that way they won't waste that youth that you're talking about. But that saying is very jealous to me. And it's an old motherfucker, you know what I mean? That was like, look at these. He can run around. I can't move like I used to. Look at him. If I was him, I would be doing this and doing that. Man, shut up. You should be over there telling him, like, listen, when I was this age, this is how I messed up. And you can get something. You can get better, because we really are supposed to live through our youth. Not in the way we've been taught, though. But you really are supposed to live through that next generation. That's why they say it's a blessing, because you're getting to live on. That's what the blessing is. The blessing is that you're living on now. So everything that you got, you're supposed to put into that next generation, and it doesn't have to be your in particular progeny that should get that. You know what I'm saying? But Cornerstone Drop-In Center, 2321 North Broad. Did she do this? Whatever. I don't. You want her. You want her. Gang. We all gang. But y'all, gang, you know?
I didn't go into details.
All right, so
Motion Monday.
Cornerstone.
And you're yelling.
I am. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I told you I love doing this show. I keep telling people, like, this was not the plan. This kind of happened to happen since it was a whole nother idea of how I even got to this point. But I do love this show, and I can go through. This is something I do that I can be going through a lot of stuff in my life, and I told you this before. I never feel like,
it's a dream.
I don't want to do this. Why somebody else can't fill in? And, you know, so I'm a little excited. I love doing the show. I really do. For whatever level this show is to me or anybody else, I love doing it. So, Cornerstone Drop-In Center, 2321 North Broad Street. Am I still yelling?
No, you're not yelling.
I feel like when I do this voice, I'm trying to sound like I'm about to say, and the next song up is Keep Sweat.
Smooth voice.
That's what it sounds like I'm being extra corny and shit.
Do what you do. I'm not going to
Nah, I'm just messing with you. It ain't nothing. I just like that Carlita is up here. Like, I walked in and Carlita was on stage, y'all.
Oh, yeah, no, just seen a little hissy fit. Like, hold on, let me call her. She's coming. 5 minutes away. Dun, dun.
Okay. I get 5 minutes of Carlita. I want to get 5 minutes of everybody that goes that. You know what I mean? Like, come on in, come on down, talk. You know what I mean? But all right, so we gonna get to it. First, I gotta do something because one of my brothers, I'm very proud of him. His name is Duke. You know what I'm saying? My man, 60th Street Duke. You know, They got a bar on 52nd and Market, GW. What does GW stand for? That's what I'm lost. But y'all can't miss it. GW, 52nd and Market, slide through, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice time. It's a safe time. And I know some people that's from in and around 52nd and Market like, "Mom, I got it ain't safe right there." Well, actually it is, because the cops are always parked right there. Not saying stuff can't happen because the cops are there, because stuff, or it seems to happen a little bit more, it seems like, when the cops are around. But cops are there, and they always got security. You know what I'm saying? They're very security minded, like a lot of other people are, because of fear. And we gonna get into that, because fear is a powerful thing. That's a tool that people uses against you to get you to do a lot of stuff. Forget convincing you, forget trying to educate you. You know, they even got as far as saying, man, forget propaganda that can inform you to make a good decision. Propaganda is to scare you. So things that are going on get blown out of proportion so you can move in a certain way. But GW, 52nd and Market, my brother Duke, check them out. You know what I mean? Slide through to this week and go have a good time. Party Hopper Rentals. Y'all already know about my man. I'm just adding to this because it's already on and popping. You know what I mean? My man Lil, another one of my brothers. Make sure y'all check that out. But I already know y'all on that. We got Black Diamond Tire Shop. We got Black Diamond Security. Come on, get some of this good training. You know, our hours are flexible. You know what I'm saying? We on Telegram. You could jump on there, you know, and start working immediately. You know, and we have a whole bank. Mostly weekends, Thursday to Sunday. We do construction sites, bars, lounges.
The Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder, that's a motorcycle, John.
No, that's
ain't that the skating, John? Some restaurants are calling, some apartments are calling, because again, you know, things are ratcheted up because people are fearful. You know what I mean? And again, we're gonna go into that. So Black Diamond Tire Shop, Black Diamond, Google it, Black Diamond Security. Cornerstone, 2321 North Broad Street, Eddie's house, backing, showing us love. We have the Credible Messenger that we're about to do in West Philly. We also have Restorative Justice that will go a lot with what Brother Hassan is saying about, we really trying to bring this holistic approach to everything. You know what I mean? Because I think that's been one of the issues with black people in particular. They try to make us always say one thing is the way, and then we spend a whole bunch of time arguing with our other brothers and sisters that have other strategies. When I always been somebody that says, if you're trying to really build a nation, a society, a community, you need to address all things. Security. Because we have a history of not securing the things that we obtain in America, and they get taken away from us because we don't know the laws. We don't have security. We don't have our paperwork correct. You know, we don't know contract law like this brother teaches. Education, medical, banking, says our own financial system. So I feel like, you know, and I can go on and on, but as black folk, all of that is going to get us our liberation. You know what I'm saying? If that's what the ask is, if that's what black people are continuously trying to do, which I'm trying to do, all of those things help you get to your liberation. Yes, voting, but also revolution. Also, you know, what do they call it? You know, marching, boycotting, everything. Black people should be doing everything. None of those things are wrong. We shouldn't be battling with each other about, nah, you don't do this, do that, do that. No, everything. We should have black folk doing a little bit of all of it.
Everything.
Moving towards the same goal. So we have Motion Mondays. Be intentional about your health. We trying to promote ideas, promote what we got going on, events, all of that. So we get out there and do outreach. We are going to be more intentional about it, you know, as we always say, and I like to say, not to just get grace from people, just to understand what we have going on is we're creating and building at the same time. And a lot of times people get to create and then take it to the park for somebody else to build it. Or the building, everything is already set and you're just coming into a position. You know what I mean? But we're doing both at the same time. So the energy can do like this at times because we're trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And I think we've all been paying attention and not trying not to get too frustrated with each other when it's not moving exactly in the direction that we think it should, or be as far as it should be. But I try to keep in mind, and I want to, my brothers and my sisters who working with me, work hard with me, to just keep that in mind. We're building and creating at the same time, and a lot of people not doing that. They get the time to create where they don't got to worry about building, or it's already built and you could just get plugged in right into the situation. Very rarely are you doing both. And, I don't want to get myself a pat on the back, but other people tell our story. You know what I'm saying, about what's going on at Cornerstone, So we have Vital Records Tuesday. Huh? Yeah, other people tell the story in that when like I said, when I'm on meetings, when I go to Zooms, when I talk to people that have other organizations, they've heard about us. They've been told about us. Like we have, the judge calling us personally about referrals. We had, even though we had the mishap with DHS and the COOL workers, that still was them knowing something about us and what we were doing and coming. Now, how it transpired was very unprofessional, and people just didn't have the correct information. I'm not going to say it was intent, but I'm going to just say this wasn't handled correctly. So, but they had to know about us for it to even become a situation. You know what I'm saying? And when people come in and see it from other organizations, I very rarely hear people say, this is not for me. You know what I mean? It might be a timing thing. It might be a money thing. It might be, I'm just trying to get it started. I just wanted to see what y'all was doing, that type of thing. So other people do tell the story because people are coming. And everybody, for the most part, who come to the center for that part of it, the service part, what we're providing, everybody says they like what's being done there. And, they would like to collaborate at another time, or they just want to let people know about it. So that's what I mean by other people tell the story. And when people come, they get what they're supposed to get. You know what I mean? They get what we tell you we have the ability to give you. Except for the damn wash machines being broke, I guess. So I do tell people that they can wash their clothes, but this shit is not working. But we're going to get it. We're getting them. Don't worry about it. I mean, that's a PGW thing. Like, we provide, the people still come in and take the showers. They do. Because I remember when I was upstate, it was like, because every year the water pipe used to bust at the one prison I was at for 10 years. Every year, this water. So you knew at some point that you was going to have to take a cold shower. It was coming. And then I ain't want to stop working out. So I worked out, and I yelled when I got in the shower, but I took my fucking shower. You know what I mean? So I know how I feel. So they, when you under a little something, you gonna go ahead and take that cold joint. But if you can find another shower with some hot water, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. So Tuesday, Vital Records Tuesday. Am I missing anything on Monday besides Motion Monday?
No, and we wrote it out, everything. And
okay, but I think I got fairly everything committed to memory now, though. Wednesday is the town hall.
Oh, Print and Press was on Monday.
Print and Press. And Sa is the instructor. And I'm going to make sure that this part get edited so you can see this. Sa, my brother, Sa Sean, you are the person who will be directing the Print and Press on Monday. Because I know this guy, listen, I love this little brother, man. But he think he's slick, yo. He be like, he don't let you tie him down to nothing. Like, nah, we got to do this, we got to do that. And he moved to get things set up and put together. He is a grinder. Like, little brother, he be on his thing. But you gonna get tied down into a time too, brother, and that's Monday. That's Monday, and I'm going to be on your ass. We going to get this part of the tape out. But I love that brother, man. He definitely is a young brother that is like, you want to see more. Like, you want to see more from him. You want to see more little brothers, following him. And he got that. That's the thing. Like, he got other brothers that follow that direction. You feel what I'm saying? But, yeah, Monday, Print and Press, Sa Sean. You know what I'm saying? That brother, my little brother, will be doing it. I'll be there until he get it into his head. No car. I don't even got a car right now, but I will find you, and we will come up there on Monday. So Monday, Print and Press. Tuesday, Vital Records. Tuesday, Wednesday, Community Table. So Community Table is the first Wednesday. We will do a lot around restorative justice and just bringing the community. It's all based in restorative justice, but we will do a lot of restorative justice training. We about to start that before the year is out. We will definitely get about 2 classes, one done, one in. I already got a bunch of people who want to do it, so come on. It's free training, and it can be something valuable on your resume. I'm telling you. If you have that you are RCI trainer, facilitator, and trainer, and you can put that on your resume, I'm telling you, it has value. So, the Wednesdays are, the first Wednesday of the month is The circle just for the community, restorative justice, restorative principles. The second Wednesday is the movie night. The third Wednesday is town hall. And the fourth Wednesday will be at the UNIA.
That's
1601 Cecil B. Moore. Historically black building owned by historically black building. Come and get the research. Come and get the information on what this building is, why it's so important to us, why the fact that it's still right there in North Philly where it's at is very important. So that's the last Wednesday of the Wednesdays. What else happens on Wednesday? That's it. Thursday is Beyond the Bars. Music, 4 to 5:30. Chess is
the 5:30 to 8.
5:30 to 8. I love the numbers with the chess. A lot of strategy going on. A lot of teaching strategy going on. A lot of good competition going on. Chris Miller, brother, gonna definitely be on here. My brother Zuberry. They're the instructors inside. Oh, you know what I forgot?
What?
Who is afraid of Naked Tuesdays? Who's afraid of Naked Tuesdays, man?
Brother Hassan, you gonna come to Naked? You gonna come to Naked Tuesday?
They don't even know what it is.
Brother Hassan, you are Cornerstone Corner. So are you gonna partake in Naked Tuesdays?
Anyway.
Yes.
Depending on what it is.
Who's afraid?
What are we shedding?
All I want to say is, because this is a very intellectual thing, and people automatically, because of how they've been programmed by Europeans. This is what it is. I'm sorry. We have a very Eurocentric thought. That's what a lot of us deal with. So, because we say Naked Tuesdays, people instantly think of something sexual. Am I wrong in that? Be honest. Am I wrong? Okay. But it actually came out of an intellectual conversation about why do we have the feelings we have about our clothes when majority of our existence on the planet, we were naked. And in those areas where it changed, when it was warm and really warm, we were very loose with our clothes, and rape culture wasn't a thing as it is right now. You still see places in the world where people are half naked, if not completely naked, and rape is not a thing in those cultures. Unless, and I know a lot of you are not going to like it, the sexual stuff actually comes into those areas when religion comes into those areas. To be honest, because religion would come into those areas before TV, even though everybody got phones now. So phones is the thing, even in some of these places where people don't, you'll see it and it'll kind of trip you up a little bit like, damn, she don't got nothing on, but you got a phone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just look around the world. We need to be more intentional about being international. Half naked, and even the way I'm saying it gives the thing of like half naked. You know what I'm saying? But it came out of a conversation about what we put into our clothes. Like when we start really truly talking about self-esteem issues. When for a long time we didn't wear clothes and it wasn't an issue. People didn't do this or try to hide or were over-sexualized by seeing your body or over-sexualized your body. That's a cultural thing. And again, like I said, in these places where people are half naked, rape is not a thing unless, and you can look it up, until religion comes into play with these places. And I'm going to tell you in one way, because religion tells you that you need to cover up for sexual reasons. That's a thing that wasn't there before religion got there. Their spirituality, their religion didn't tell them there was an issue with having your clothes out because men or women would be enticed by your body. Because that's something that's in there. The whole looking at people and visualizing those things is sin. But what about when people didn't have that thought process? So now you introduce the thought process to them by saying you can't be she got to be garbed up. When really being garbed up is too kind of like it's a climatic thing too.
So what are you bringing back?
Huh?
What are you bringing back?
No,
what are we shedding?
So
what are some people
shed this culture? Like shed the culture.
And another naked means shedding something.
And another we were honestly talking about what would happen if people did come to Cornerstone to be what they call exhibitionists, or is that right?
Okay.
It's exhibitionist, right? But no. But that was a joke. It was just a joke, and we said, but it came out of a real conversation. Like, yo, what is the issue? What is the problem with that? Like, why do we look at it like that? That's what it really. So it just came with an inside joke of who's afraid of Naked Tuesdays, because that's what I said to them when we was talking about it. Because they was like, "What? We gonna come out here with our clothes off? No, who gonna do?" And then we made a joke about who wouldn't care, who would just come out like, "I don't care," and who would really be standing in the corner somewhere like. It was just a joke about it.
A social
experiment,
like
yes.
Tashi. That's where it really came from.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah.
came from Tashi and you enjoying the what happened? What we call the activity at Cornerstone? The interaction.
Oh yeah.
The social interactions.
I do like it.
So
I do like that.
Tashi believes that you intentionally, I want to say, create social experiments, and that's where that came from. Because you are that, you do, you enjoy it, you
He's
love
social engineering. Yep.
You do.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with
we
y'all.
have a reality show
That's a joke too, but it just be like if I'm watching it and I'm like, this would be good stuff. But I wouldn't do it because it'll drive my people insane. I don't want to do that. It'll drive people. People will lose their freaking mind. But that is Thursday, so Monday, Motion Mondays.
We gotta get the
sign.
Yeah.
Monday, Motion Monday. Print and Press. Tuesday, Vital Records Tuesday. Wednesday, Community Table. Thursday, Beyond the Music, Chess. Friday is provider meetings, volunteer meetings.
Saturday Women's Group.
Saturday Women's Group. And that's Cornerstone. We got a whole bunch of other stuff. Come down there and check it out. So, I'm going to get to Brother Hassan. And I want to ask one very direct question about fear. Do you a lot of people don't know what fear mongering is.
Fear mongering?
Fear mongering.
Okay.
They don't know what that is. They don't understand that as a strategy. Can you just give us a little bit on it, because I want to ask you a couple of questions. So just a little bit on how people should pay more attention to it and what it, just understand what it is.
Okay. So officially, fear mongering would be an individual who's some type of speaker or person that the rest of the public would pay attention to, or in whatever case, this person that would be fear mongering, the rest of the public would hold them in some esteem. Mm-hmm. So you're not, nobody can fear monger you if you don't already kind of worship them. Mm-hmm. So then they present you with what they know you're afraid of to make you move in the direction they want you to move in. There might not be any threat to you at all, but by them telling you there's a threat to you and telling you, and maybe facts, they might give you facts that you can't check. So you have to depend on them, and since they're who they are, they wouldn't lie to you, so you forced to believe them. So if I say, go home right away, grab your children, whatever, get your supplies, and get to the shelter, there's going to be a terrible storm, it's going to last for 2 days in any culture in the world. Somebody tells you that. If it's the chief of the tribe telling you that, you're going to pay attention, or the governor or whoever it is. But if it's just some wino on the corner, well, you're going to be like, look, let me go check the news, all right? So nobody can fearmonger you that you don't already have and respect and value their opinion. Because so that's what you already have to bring to the table. You already going to believe what they say, basically, as long as it ain't too crazy, all right? But then they have a purpose. They have an ulterior motive that they want to get something from you. So if I want you, need to go on a thing, is that this person is going to tell you that there's something that you should be aware of, that you're not aware of, and that you should be afraid of. And they're going to indicate to you, well, if I was you, I would do this, I would do that. That is, it's motivating you. They're giving you motivation of making you afraid. If you want to save your wife and kids, you have to do this right now. Obviously, they've motivated you now. You're well motivated, and you're going to put out your effort to do that. So that is, in effect, this fear-mongering. And the perfect example would be, of course, Donald Trump. Everything he does, everything the Ku Klux Klan does, everything everybody recognizes the Ku Klux Klan. What they don't realize is there's a giant international world organization called, what do they call them? The nationalists, the white supremacist nationalists. So
they have a party in almost every almost every European country. And the things that we think are so outlandish that we may hear Trump say, they say is a part of political debate on the regular. You can go to multiple European countries and this is going down. You walk into their parliament and it's a whole group of people who are nationalists, like he said, and they are some of the most racist people you will ever hear of. And it's a party. It's like Democrats and Republicans in other countries. They have strongholds. Yeah, they had real representation with this type of thought.
Hitler was elected.
Exactly.
Hitler
In Germany,
was elected, just like Trump was elected. Hitler was elected
Exactly.
president of Germany.
That reminds me of the conversation that we had before, Jarue, when we were talking about like how we have Democrats and Republicans and then people who are independent, and that like you don't have to be Democrat or Republican. You can create your own party. And like,
well, like he said, we should do everything.
Right.
There should be blacks in every
Everything.
party, plus make our own. Okay, and we're not fighting against each other. We're using our power.
Right.
We're gonna make alliances, but everybody.
and that's the thing. Like, the reason why I asked that, as a part of security, because for real, everything is security, y'all. Like everything, education is security.
Everything.
You feel what I'm saying? What you eat, your nutrition is security. Your health is security. So it's like us not being able to be fear mongered in all of these fears. Like they do it with the food. If you don't eat this, if you don't eat a balanced diet, when really they just trying to sell you product. And then you find out 20 years down the line that the whole 3 meals a day was some bullshit. Somebody just came up with it. But we were taught that in school as strategy. An unhealthy diet was taught to you as strategy at a very young age. That was fear mongering. And they made your parents think, yo, if you don't drink this milk, your baby is going to be up. You got to get this milk. And then come to find out the milk is the worst thing you probably could be drinking of all the things that you can drink. And you find out how it's being farmed and all of these, and then you realize, oh, they fear mongered my parents in order to sell this product at an alarming rate. And that's what they did.
And for right now, to this election stuff, it applies when everybody keeps talking about crime. First off, the Republicans that keep talking about crime, it's not in none of their neighborhoods. All the crime they talking about is in our neighborhood. So why is you afraid out in not even Bucks County, but way out in York or Erie?
Yeah, you out Fort Washington.
You don't have no crime in your neighborhood. What you holler about crime? We got to stop the.
I'm gonna tell you,
have nothing.
basically, like, what's the motive?
Right.
What's the real intent?
Fear to really make them vote for everything else that come along
this
with
is
it.
another funny thing. Oh, to that, John, about the crime, John, right? First of all, we don't understand that, it's a lot of different types of crimes, right? Y'all know that gun crime is not the only crime. I mean, it can look exciting. And I mean it in that way. Exciting in that when it happens, you be like, oh, you know what I mean? Look what they did. That's an excitement. That's not necessarily, that's an excitement. That stimuli brought you up. Like they shooting like crazy, this, that, and the third, right? But rape is a crime. And in these areas that he's talking about, y'all talking about gun violence, but y'all ain't talking about how many kids missing.
Right now, the most violence right now in our community is done against black women.
Yes, indeed.
And it's done in their own households by male or who, not even necessarily male, because sometimes the daughters or the cousin or whoever else in there with them beating them. But the point is that right now, black women are the ones, and the most crime is being done is domestic abuse right now. So yeah, gun crime is a crime right now, but
domestic violence is American culture.
American is apple pie.
Domestic violence is America even teaches you that she's a property across the board, but the lowest property is black women. Unfortunately, that's what it is. That I'm just telling you exactly what it is. Women are not valued in this society, period, no matter what type of woman you are. But the woman who's not valued and unprotected the most is a black woman. And you could go look like in the statistics for the police. When you talk about they can't really tell you, that can't become the thing, because then the police won't be able to be the police. Because domestic violence is high when it comes to police officers. The same thing with suicide. It's high. And you could go check it out. So if we really start getting into
and
these
prison guards beat their families.
So
all
if we
the
really
time.
start getting
Police
into
officers beat their families.
actually crime across the board and not pick and choose, because that's something I learned while I was upstate, being in these different areas, is like, okay, we talking about shooting and drug dealing. Y'all talking about meth. Y'all talking about dope. Y'all talking about pedophilia. Y'all talking about corruption. Y'all talking about rape, and y'all talking about domestic violence. And that's what I seen on the news when I was up Smithfield. And it was that Cumberland County or whatever, up there with Smithfield and Lake, what is it? I can't even think of Juniana. What else is near there? It's a bunch of little counties around it I can't remember right now. But listening to their news, it was a different thing, and it wasn't overblown nationally, even though it should have been overblown nationally. That across the country, women are being beat up. Nobody's talking about it.
Can I put out two major alerts for all black people everywhere? This is especially go to all black women, and y'all should call in all y'all markers. Anybody that owe black women favors and sororities or any daggone thing else. I have it posted on my Facebook that there has been a study that's been completed. It's the only 20-year study in existence that covers the infant mortality rate of black women in America. Now, what it's saying, this study absolutely positively proven. I'm a licensed private detective and dealt with law enforcement, grants from the United States Department of Justice. I've dealt with every kind of research on violent rape of women with National Institute of Mental Health. I've dealt with everything from juvenile justice surveys and studies. This study is the only one, and it proves, and it was done by mistake. And now everybody is trying to wipe out that it ever was there. They never meant to do it. They never meant to come up with the results they did. The results are that, first off, everybody knows that the high infant mortality rate among black women all over the country. In Philadelphia, it's one of the highest maybe in the whole country, other than the state of Florida. Now, what I am outraged, and all of us got to be outraged about, I've written to everybody from the governor, Department of Justice in Florida, Attorney General, all of that, and every one of us need to do this. This study says that only in the state of Florida, if a black woman have a birth, if the doctor is white, the baby is 3 times more likely to die, almost immediately or within the next 3 weeks to within like 3 months of infant mortality. This is not possible. I'm telling y'all, I'm telling y'all, a licensed private detective. This is what we would do with a crime case. If we had a data that showed that for some unexplained reason, and no person in America can explain that data. It is no way that data can be there for so many different reasons. It is impossible for that to be true, and it is true. The only way that can be true is if there is a crime being committed among the medical profession in the state of Florida directed at non-white infant mortality mothers that are having it. And this applies to Hispanics that are dark-skinned in Florida, dark skin, all right? Not light skin Hispanic, dark skin, and Asian, more darker skin, Asian. So, and this is for immigrants coming, and it's for black women that's already here in Florida. This is impossible. This is exactly what the Pharaoh ordered when he told the midwives in the book of Exodus to kill all of the boy Hebrews that are born and let the girls live because they could sell them off or do whatever with them. Well, the midwives came back. He said, well, why are you not killing them? They still being born. And they said, well, they gave him an excuse because the Bible says that the midwives wasn't going to do it. So they said, oh, these Hebrew women are different from our women. They have the babies so fast they just pop out. By the time we get there, they're already born healthy. There's nothing we can do. We don't have no chance to kill them. But the point is that this can only be because every other statistic in America says that any black doctors or any other doctors that will be waiting on it, and it says that if the doctor's any other color, the baby is 3 more times likely to live based on the color of the doctors and the nurses that this woman have been dealing with to have the baby. Well, that's not possible. It's just not possible because this applies all over the state of Florida to every situation. Local community clinics, hospitals in all the big cities and all the big wards that's infant wards and everything, it apply across the board to every medical situation, no matter how modern the equipment is, no matter what the but in theory, every black doctor should have gotten less training than the white doctor. The black doctors would have less access to good modern equipment than the white doctor. The black woman should have had less access to the doctor during her entire presidency. No matter what color the doctor was black women have less access to them no matter what color they are before they have them. So in theory, it would be impossible for better equipment, better white doctors, better trained, better everything, for them to lose. That's impossible. And I'm a detective, and I go by facts and evidence. That is a gun. That is a smoking gun. So I've asked every entity in the world to look into this, and it has to be, and when you do it, I know we're out of time, we're going to find out it's a set group of doctors doing this. We're going to be able to make a list, because all you got to do, all the data that's already collected, is go back to those locations and see what doctors and their staff was on duty at those places. You're going to wind up with a list of doctors throughout Florida who are known to kill black babies is what you're going to have, right? And then if that's a regular lawful case, the attorney general will go file case against all of them and charge them and let them defend themselves if they can, which they can't. It's not possible. I'm telling you, like I said, I'm an expert witness for use of force and everything. I've done all these surveys and studies. This is impossible unless there is a actual certified agreement among these people.
The thing of it is like it's not impossible because the history.
Florida.
The history of not just Florida, just America. The history shows that the hospital has not been the friend of black folk. Like, it's a history. Like, Medical Apartheid is a book that you can read that would tell you, that allow you to know that that's an understanding that's built into the system.
But Florida is a special case. When it comes to black people, Florida is the most racist state in the history of the United States. Florida is the only state. They did commercials. Alligators became valuable. Alligators to Europeans for luggage and all that stuff. When they discovered all these alligators over here in America, everybody in Europe wanted them, right? They put out bounties of like hundreds of dollars for those rednecks to go into the swamp and get the alligators and all that. They came up with a whole campaign. Meat for bait was too valuable. They used black babies. They would go and take the state of Florida, this is in writing, this is in effect, they have commercials on matchbooks and things and it's called alligator bait, and they got little black baby on a fishing hook holding it over alligator. Florida is famous. We don't know these things, right? Everybody in Florida knows.
I'll say this. I know for a fact that it was gruesome things done in Florida, but
nobody used our children for alligator bait.
But if you hanging women. And I don't want to make this.
Everybody do that.
I don't want to make no. I'm talking about. But if you hanging a woman by her feet and cutting her stomach open and letting the baby fall and stomping it out in front of people, that wasn't just done.
Everybody did that from Columbus. He started
boiling.
Columbus,
like, to me, it's not really like the alligator bait versus boiling something. But that's not what we're gonna get into. But this is what I'm gonna say though. Please, read.
Y'all read.
Read data, read research, read medical journals, read. I'm telling you, because they talk about us in a very plain way in these type of intellectual book, academic books. They talk about us in a very plain way.
The studies are there for everybody.
It's there for everybody. The same thing we was talking about with the school board. The school board will tell you everything you need to know about why black children are not learning. They'll tell you in their own statistics. They'll give it to you because we don't put a value on picking up something that can give you new information, like actual new tangible information. We don't place the value on it. And I ain't just talking about just reading. Like, if you on your phone out there, you could just Google random stuff and just start reading about it as pertaining to black folk. But we don't have time.
Emergency announcement.
Another emergency
announcement. No, really, y'all, this is serious, right? We have to all collectively figure out how to get as much resources to the Youth Study Center up there as possible. Especially black men like you and this brother and me that's not going to be scared of the young brothers in there. We must. I'm telling you, they on the verge of a riot in there. Every study and every situation in prisons where they get overcrowded and nobody addresses it, it always leads to a riot and somebody always wind up dead. That is, we on the brink of this.
At the Youth Study Center.
At the youth, what's that youth justice thing they have? Where they take they have it on the news where they're saying that the staff, they had a mini riot in there already, and the staff is scared to death right now. And they're overcrowded. The place is only set up. This is what's special. This is the youngest juvenile population. All of our bad kids, so-called, right? This is the ones from like 10 years old is in there up to like 17. Now, at least a certain amount of them have already been adjudicated, and they're supposed to right now be in state correctional facilities for juvenile. The state said they overcrowded, they have nowhere to take them, they're not going to come get them out of Philly. And Philly got to keep them. And Philly's trying to sue the state to make them come and take them. In the meantime, you got a place that's meant for 75 people, and they got 140 of them in there. They got them packed in together, they're trying to feed them together, and they fighting. Anytime you put people in that close environment, especially they're already scared of each other and they're already aggressive, anything that come near them, each of them going to strike out on first. I'm going to be the first one to hit you before you hit me. Well, they are at the point right now, the next thing, they're going to attack each other. When the staff come to try to break them up, they're going to attack the staff. That's the way it always goes. So this is the point we have right now. Now, I've been in touch with Baal Khayyam, which is the one that, for Philly elders, like we all the Philly elders, we're trying to all come together and make a massive plan, my plan for all of us, right? But I talked to him just before I came in here. We are trying to get together black elders that aren't afraid of the young guys, because they're all like, if you get in there, it's like some big boys and stuff. But the point is, I don't want it to be too young. They're going to be looking for volunteers to administrate the whole place. He's quietly asking for us black men, but he's scared because he doesn't know which ones to let come in contact with the young people and which ones not. And he's asking me, Bilal, and a couple others to vet you young brothers who can come in there and be trusted not to hurt the brother, but coming in to help them. And that's all we want to do. Get in there. We want to stay between them. But we want to do as elders, we want to get in there and give them so much activity. If you take the ones off that's good at what you do, and you take them off to the side, and he take the brothers off to the side that's interested in him, and I take the brother, and then so and so and so, they'll all be so busy, and we wear them out, and they won't even realize it. And we wear them out all day. When they go,
I don't mean to cut you off, brother Hassan, but I don't want to push too
all right,
far.
but
Because
this is
I do this every week, man.
Because we're talking about riot prevention.
But yeah, the Youth Study Center, right?
I
or
think
is
it's
it
called
the
JC Juvenile Justice Center?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. I can't get the acronym down
I
right
think
now.
they're at 46 and Market.
Yeah,
Big
I think
complex.
that's JC. It's not
something.
coming out, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, we need to pay attention to that. Brothers like myself that move and say that y'all, appeal to these young brothers and y'all understand what has happened to them is because our lack of understanding, our waiting too long, our being missed in time, whatever it is, it's on us when it comes to these young folks. That's something I gotta get out every time. It's on the 26-year-old if the 13-year-old is in the way. And if the 26-year-old in the way, it's on the 36-year-old or why he was in the way. Whether that was your blood relative, your son, whenever I hear somebody, I don't give a fuck about that little nigga, this, that, and the third, that's why they the way that they are, because you have that attitude. And you're only saying that to deflect from the fact that you didn't give anything. You didn't give anything to that generation that was, and you had nothing to give probably, and you don't want to show that because you don't want to read. That's probably one of the reasons you ain't giving nothing, or you giving the wrong shit. But it's incumbent on those of us who are older to make sure that our young folks are taken care of, and all young folks are our young folks. Miss me with all of that. Oh, ain't my kid, this, that, and the third. But as soon as something happens, you want everybody to coalesce around you and yours. So this is PSA, Philly Service Announcement. Jess in the building. My brother Mark in the building. Carlita's little sister is in the building.
Yes. I see that.
My show ain't popular enough for her to be hype about being on this. Not yet. But listen, I appreciate Brother Hassan. This PSA, Philly service announcement. Love, support, and grace. Social activism, resources, and art. My right-hand sister, Nick, I love you. I miss you. Come on to the show. I know what it is. That's what we doing out here. Appreciate you, too. Take over Tuesday, take over every Tuesday at 5.
Thank you,
Brother Hassan, we got more time
Thank
for you, brother.
very
Don't
much
worry
for
about it.
having me. Thank you.